trying to drum up a little bit of positivity. Let's be fair, not everything has gone our way of late. But I think one thing we can all agree has been positive, and that's the amount of that, spondoolies, wonga, whatever you want to call it, that's been spent in the transfer window. But just how much value are those players to West Ham? Well, myself and Geo are going to decide, and we're going to try and give each one a rating. I keep seeing these videos, who won the transfer window. Got to say, I hate it. We're not going to know yet, but we're going to try and guess. What were you saying?
Southampton.
You think Southampton won the transfer window, did you?
I think they've got the most underrated transfer window. You won't be able to tell till like a year's time, but next summer you'll say, tell you what, them boys Southampton have got her impressive, aren't they?
Oh, I think that might annoy me a little bit. Anyway, don't worry. It doesn't take much at the moment, truth be known. So basically, Geo has got a list of all our players, and we're going to rate them from 1 to 10, Geo.
Yeah, it's a big list I've got here, actually. It's quite long. It makes a change. Let's kick it off with the first summer signing then, Nathan Guerd. Possibly the most difficult one to do because we've not seen him.
It is, but you know what? It'll be quite a short video if we don't embellish it just a little bit. And it is hard to say, but I think he's going to be a really important player for us. Now, the left-footed aspect can't be discounted. I do think that he has been purchased to facilitate a certain style of play that David Moyes wants. And we only had one little glimpse, didn't we? One small glimpse of his long-range crossfield passing. We'd seen lots of it in the video clips and in his footage from when he played for Stade Rennais, but we saw a little glimpse in the Reading game, and he looks really, really good at it. I also think he brings a little bit of pace to the back line. I mean, Jack made the point, really, didn't he, about Zuma playing best when it's sort of back to the wall type stuff. I do think with Kehrer and with Guerd, this helps us to play a little bit higher line. And I do really think that it's going to facilitate the counter-attack. That being said, Geo, I feel like I can't give him a mark, so I'm going to play safe. I feel like this is a fence-sitting mark. 6 seems too low because I think he is a good player, but we did pay big money. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 7 as well. I've never seen him play football. I've seen him briefly in the African nations, but I can't recall seeing him play in the African nations. I've seen Morocco play, so I have seen him play. I couldn't tell you that I watched him. And the reason I'm giving him a 7 isn't because of what I know. I think it's fair as a football fan to judge transfers based on the opinions of people that you trust, if that makes sense. So if you have certain resources when it comes to finding out about a player, or you listen to certain journalists or pundits or fans and you trust their opinions because more often their opinions relate to yours with players that you know, or they might say, oh, this is a fantastic signing for Club X, and then that player comes good. You sometimes think, well, that guy did call this. And I think using that, I think it's fair to sort of summarize a transfer like this that you've never heard of. It's all you can do. So I'm going to give it a 7 as well. That's as high as I can go. And I hope that if we do this at the end of the season, we rate our summer transfer business. I hope it would be higher than a 7, that he's come back fully fit. A horrible injury to come back from. Positive news, though, for West Ham fans today. David Moyes confirmed Nathan Guerd is out of his boot. So that's small progress. He's out his boot now. It's still a long way to go before he's fully fit. I don't think we'll see him until after Christmas, but it's moving in the right direction. I'll give him a 7. Now let's continue with the positive vibes, were we? And go with Thilo Kehrer. I mean, there's only 1 or 2 numbers you can give him here.
Absolutely. He came straight out of the boots, didn't he? This one. I didn't know anything about. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I didn't know anything about this fella. I really didn't. And as I say, I think it was an emergency signing to patch things up because of Guerd, because of Diop, because of the Dawson injury, all these things. It looked like Zuma was going to be broken. My word, he's been a surprise. It makes you wonder, and I know your opinion on this, which is, you think he was one of the ones that was highlighted and targeted anyway. But at that price, you wonder why we didn't get him on board anyway. It also makes you wonder why other clubs didn't come in and try and get him. He is clearly a very, very high standard footballer. And I am looking forward to seeing him playing in more positions than he already has. And I do look at it and think it's a back three of Kehrer, Zuma, and Guerd. Is that the back three? Maybe that's what Moisey's got in mind. Look forward to seeing him at right back. See what he can do there as well. So a really good player. For the price, for the value, he's 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 as well, especially when you take in what we paid for him. And I do agree he was an emergency signing, but I don't think he was a panic buy. That's two completely different things there. Panic buyings when you buy for the sake of it. And I don't think he was. Like I said many times, I do believe he was well sought out, someone we've had our eye on, and then we've moved for him for that reason. And it's no coincidence other centre-backs we were linked to at the same time as Kehrer was centre-backs we've been linked to previously as well from Fenerbahce. You know, that we were linked to him 12 months ago. So clearly we would have scouted him, kept an eye on him in the 12 months when initially linked to him to Diop leaving. So I think you have to assume we've done the same with Thilo Kehrer. Why other clubs haven't come for him? Well, I'll suggest why other big clubs haven't come for him. Champions League ones. Hey, he is rash. He does have that tendency and error in him. We've seen it already at West Ham, but we almost have to accept that as West Ham fans because we can't afford Wesley Fofana, who are the centre-back, the finished article and stuff. You almost have to take the centre-back that's lacking one or two attributes that you'd like, and that's why you pay a lot less money for him. But in terms of what he brings to West Ham, what I've seen so far, very, very impressed. It's a comfortable 9 out of 10 for me. I did this with Nicky on West Ham Fan TV in Scotland, so I'm trying to remember my ratings from that video because they have to match up in theory, and I'm pretty sure they're bang on because it's my rating anyway. But I gave the next one, Gonzo, a 10 out of 10.
Well, before you do talk about that one for 10 out of 10, I think we coined a phrase, the Kehrer error, which I think was it would be a good, actually not a great one. I just hope we don't say that too often. I would like to point you in the direction of the sponsor of this video, who are Spitch. Now you can download Spitch by using the link below. Why would you download Spitch? Well, it is the next generation of fantasy football app, and I tell you what, I ain't bad at it. Quite frankly, I had an absolutely storming week last week because I gotta say I had a massive overspend. I packed my team. Van Dijk, he was in there. Haaland, he was in there. Ronaldo, Pele, George Best. All right, you can't quite go to that sort of length, but you can overspend. I mean, this week I know that Geo has underspent. What you get is basically you get to start with a little bit of credit in the bank. Now, this is a free-to-play app, but if you want to spend a little bit of money on it, you can. And for that reason, it's 18 and over. There's up to £70,000 worth of prizes, cash prizes, available every single week. But if you just want to play it for a bit of fun, look no further than our Hammers Chat Mini League. You can fight it out, well, amongst each other and with myself and Geo, who are going to have an ongoing battle each and every season. All you've got to do is in the communities tab, type in Hammers Chat. You'll see a little picture of me and a little picture of him. It's the other side, isn't it? A little picture of him there. Join up. It's a lot of fun. Click the link below. Check it out. That is the Spitch app. Geo, who are we talking about now?
Areola. I gave Areola a 10 out of 10, Gonzo, because is he a good goalkeeper? Yes, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. But if we just bought him from PSG, we hadn't seen him last season, I'd probably give him an 8 out of 10. We paid 11 million, somewhere in there anyway. We paid for him. Bargain for a Premier League goalkeeper. That is a bargain, and that's what we've signed. We've signed a number one Premier League goalkeeper. Just because he isn't the current number one doesn't mean he's not good enough to be the current number one. But we did have him last season on loan. He was brilliant for us in the Europa League, and we know he can fit into the club. He knows what West Ham's all about. I think this transfer ticks every single box that you look for when you're buying a player. Value for money, will he settle in? Has he got the ability? Has he got the longevity? Yes. Probably taking a wage cut to join us as well. I like everything about this transfer, so I don't see how it can't be a 10 out of 10.
Well, I'm not sure it ticks every single box. That means he's going to be scoring goals and curling in free kicks, so we've got to mark him down for that. He can't break into the first team, despite a goalkeeper between the sticks who can't catch the ball. Well, actually, can catch the ball, Fabianski. He just can't stop it from dribbling between his legs. If you pardon the expression, that's a terrible expression. No, I joke and I jest. Areola, I'll give him an 8 out of 10, mate.
Oh, that's a bit low.
It's a good hire. Healthy mark. I'll tell you what, Gio, if you were kicking a football around in the park and you said, how do you think I played? I'd say you played a good game then, mate. You played out of 10, you'd be pleased with that.
Yeah, but But why are you not giving him? Why is he knocking 2 points off? Is it just because he's not the number one?
He's not the number one as yet. But I don't disagree with what you say. But
that's a reflection of mine. He's not.
Please, you're looking at it the wrong way. Please don't think of it as 2 points knocked off. Please consider it 8 points put on.
We'll see. Anyway, let's get into one of the nitty gritty. I think there's 2 nitty gritty ones. Maybe harsh marks or something. Let's go with the first one, Emerson. Remember, we're rating the transfer, not the player. That's 2 different things. Of course, they tie into each other.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay, bearing that in mind, I'm going to give it a 5. Because if what we were going to do in terms of the transfer, I feel the thing to do, bear in mind, we have a senior left back, was to probably bring in a young left back. I think what we've done is brought in another senior left back. So I think we still got to go and do the job. We still got to go and sign a left back, basically. Whereas we could have dealt with that and got someone really promising and up and coming. But yeah, that's no reflection of him as a player. I do think he'll be a really useful and good squad player. But I don't think he's outstanding. It's almost like we needed a left back. We spent all the budget. Can we buy him? Oh, no, he's a bit expensive. Chelsea, will you take a bit less? I'll go on in. Emerson, your wages are a bit high. Will you take a bit less? Oh, yeah, go on in. He's coming. Yeah, let's give it 5 out of 10.
I'll give it a 6, and I'm giving him an extra mark because I've seen him play a couple of games. I think he's looked all right in them, actually. He's got the Premier League experience. We know he's settled in at London and stuff, so that's good. That removes an element of risk with the transfer, which is a clever thing to do. But I can't help get the feeling that we went to Stamford Bridge to sign Armando Broja and came back with Emerson, and that's never a good thing. That's like going down the shop to get some milk and coming back with water, going, yeah, but it's liquid, so what's the problem?
It's actually an old Fast Show sketch. There's actually a character who does exactly that, but yeah.
But we needed a left back. We've got a left back. That's good. 13 million isn't breaking the bank. But like I said, I'm aware there's an element of football snobbery when it comes to me with this transfer. I wanted a top left back coming in. Someone that was just going to knock Aaron Cresswell out the team straight away without even playing a game, because they said, I'm that good, I come straight in. You out, like Paqueta. I'm that good, Ben Rama out the team, I'm coming in. We haven't done that with Emerson. We've got a guy to come in and challenge Aaron Cresswell, and come the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised they've both got similar appearances in terms of starts and substitute appearances, so on and so forth. I imagine they'll have similar numbers. I almost wanted somebody to come in, like Calvin Bassey, like David Ram, or Wijnaldum, that's going to come and say, you out. I am the left. I'm fit. I play because I'm that good. And I don't think we've secured that. I will give the club the benefit of the doubt. If we agree, which we do, and not everybody will, but me and you do, that Kehrer was an emergency signing, well, that's got to have a knock-on effect somewhere with the budget. We've just spent over 10 million on someone we weren't perhaps anticipating spending 10 million on. So we're going to have to claw it back from somewhere. Perhaps it was a left back. We've gone from, okay, instead of 25 million, we're going to have to go out and get somebody for 13 million, and happened to be Emerson. Good player. But like I said, I was just hoping for someone a little bit better than Emerson. And the age profile, not ideal. A couple of seasons' time, we're going to be back in the same situation where we're needing a new left back, and we're looking to spend 25 million on it. So, we're playing with wing backs at the minute, Gonzo. To me, that is possibly the most important players in the team. Sure. I'm not sure Emerson is an undisputed left wing back for us. So we'll move on from him. Let's get the positivity back. This was my second number 10. Guess. I'll give 2 players 10 out of 10 when I was on West Ham Fan TV. I'll tell you who you've got left. You've got Flynn Downs, Maxwell Cornet, Gianlucca Scamacca, and Lucas Paqueta. Who was my other 10 out of 10?
Scamacca.
Wrong.
That's Flynn Downs.
Well, it's definitely not Flynn Downs. You've got one guess left.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Oh, really.
Well, okay. I'm going to try and get it wrong on purpose. Cornet.
Yes, it was.
Oh. You got some weird old way of rating everything.
No. Wait, hang on. Let me argue this, right? He can play in many positions. Left back, left wing back, left wing, right wing, striker. He can play in all those positions. He's got Premier League experience. He's scored goals in a Burnley team. Not many players can do that, but he did it. He's a really good age. 17.5 million. That's punt money in the Premier League in this day and age. You don't get much for 17.5 million, especially in a forward position. He costs the same, possibly even less than what Brentford have just paid for Keane Lewis-Potter. Now, this is nothing against Keane Lewis-Potter. I like Keane Lewis-Potter. I wanted him at West Ham.
Sure.
But he's only played in the Championship for a couple of seasons. Kehrer done it in the Champions League. He's done it in the Premier League. And he's cost less. I think, again, what you're looking for in regards to transfer, I think he's got everything. I do. I just think if he gets a chance and he gets a fair chance at West Ham, I think it's almost destined to be a successful transfer. 17.5 million, I think, is a bargain for him, in all honesty.
Yeah, look, 17 million, as you said, that's 1 million for each time he gets caught offside every game. No, I think he's a decent player, mate. He really is. I'll give it 8 out of 10 because I do think you're right. I think it covers a whole host of positions. We desperately needed it. I think the thing for me is I thought we desperately needed a left winger. I've been banging on about it for the past 12 months. So we brought one in, and he looks good. Looks like he can score goals. They might not be allowed, but he can score goals, which is really good. I like him, and I look forward to actually him. Obviously, I'm being a bit silly on this video. Hopefully, you can tell. Very much tongue in cheek, but I'm looking forward to seeing him play. Looking forward to him integrating himself into the team, mate.
Scamacca.
The transfer, I'll give the transfer an 8 out of 10 because it's a striker. We desperately needed a striker, Italian international. Highly regarded, highly sought after. To go back to your phrase, I think we were going for Breuer and we ended up with Scamacca. I still think Breuer's better suited to the way we play. I think we're going to have to make more adaptations to Scamacca to make it work. When you hear people like Flynn Down saying he's got the hardest shot of anyone I've ever seen, someone else said his heading accuracy is sensational. We need to try and get that out of him. I'm less convinced about his general all-round play. So we're going to have to adapt. And do you know what? We have to, because quite frankly, we didn't adapt to Sebastian Haller, and he was a quality player. How good is it to see him looking well? And at the Dortmund game, by the way, we'll wish him very, very well. We need to adapt to get the best out of him. But as a transfer, I'll give it 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't really go any higher. I didn't see enough of him. I'd seen bits and pieces of him in an Italy shirt, funny enough, prior to us purchasing him. But again, I'm factoring in hype here. And I make no apologies for it. But when there's, top pundits and journalists out there saying, wow, this is a bit of a coup for West Ham, and they couldn't believe other clubs come after. Well, actually, PSG did go after him in the end. So again, I think it's fair to factor that in a little bit and think, well, hang on, if PSG think he's good enough for their team, then surely he's good enough for West Ham. But like I said, an 8 as high as it can go. I've been impressed by what I've seen so far. I haven't been knocked off my feet yet. I think there's one or two concerns I've got over him fitting into the way that we play under David Moyes, but that's not really something I can factor in just yet, because at the minute it's working. He's scoring goals so far. So yeah, I'll give an 8 as well, and that leaves us on to another big scorer, which is Lucas Paqueta. What you saying?
9 or 10. I'll give it a 10. Transfer records, we needed a superstar player. And I think Moyes wanted to get a superstar player. So rate the signing. Funny enough, I think he was happy to get one in almost any number of positions. And he got one. And you know what? I started, the more I looked at it, the more I looked at that attacking midfield, we really need something here. I was hoping Lanzini would be better than he has showed this season. It's not really happened. I don't particularly like Fornals there. I think Fornals got a lot of good qualities, very industrious. But I want outright magic and somebody that the opposition team are going to fear enough to double mark, because that just creates space for other players on the pitch, which in turn helps people like Benrahma and Antonio or whoever else is going to play. The intent from the club, the paying the money, the getting it done, the fact that the transfer stalled and then it went right. No, we're going to push this through. We're going to do this and we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done before other clubs come in. I think it's been a criticism that what we've done. I think we actually conducted the transfer really well from start to finish, and I think that's testament to everybody involved in it. It's not something we've done particularly well in the past.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. Again, considered a major coup for West Ham. Surprised a lot of people. Even the Lyon president basically said, I couldn't believe other clubs didn't come in and try and get him. We didn't think West Ham would get him. When West Ham come in, we didn't think they'd stand a chance. But yet, he's off to West Ham. Held in high regard. At the end of the day, we just signed a guy that might be playing in the number 10 position for Brazil at the World Cup.
Yeah.
And Brazil may not be as good today as they were back in the days with Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Carlos, whatever. They're still one of the best countries there is at playing football. And also there's an emphasis on the type of play that Paqueta delivers to that Brazilian team. You've got to have that sort of almost samba football about you. You've got to be creative. You've got to be good in attack. And he is. You look at Jesus. He left out the last few, not squads, the teams, the starting 11. He hasn't been featuring for Brazil because it's sort of, you're not good enough. You're not considered good enough for the starting 11. Paqueta, he's in there. So I'm thoroughly excited. I think statistically is exactly what we need. And we do need somebody that is a little entertaining in the team because we can be a little bit boring to watch. And when it gets results, you overlook it a bit because it's working. But when you don't get results, it becomes a problem because it's boring and not getting results. So you do need somebody in there that can, get the crowd off their feet a little bit. The reason I'm giving it a 9 and not a 10 is because he almost works too hard. So we saw at Stamford Bridge already, doing defensive work, and that's all well and good, but it's not really what I want to see from him. So I actually do wonder if his defensive attributes is maybe going to hinder him a little bit, because I think Moyes is going to utilise that defensive side of him perhaps
at left back. You said earlier, what you want is a Paqueta style signing at left back. Maybe Moyes is training. I think he's going that way. Paqueta at left back. You heard it here first.
I'll give him a 9. Lastly, Flynn Downs. I'm going to give him a 6, Gonzo. I think that's been kind. I think if you did this the day we signed him, I would have given him a 7, pushing an 8, because I thought this is what we need. One of the best midfielders from the Championship, not that much money, die-hard West Ham fan. We're missing Mr. West Ham. Martin Noble's left the building. We bring in a West Ham. And there might be a little bit of romance for me, and I'm maybe getting a little bit too carried away with the romance of a West Ham fan replacing a West Ham fan. It doesn't really matter to some extent at the end of the day. But we often, as football fans, cling for a little bit of relevance and identity at your club. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, that you've got players you can almost relate to some extent. Not had a go yet. There is an element of me worried about Alex Kral. However, a couple of hours ago, before we did this, Moyes had his press conference ahead of tomorrow night's game, and Moyes basically said, I'm looking at Flynn, and this could be one of the games to give him a chance in. So maybe it does sound like Moyes is going to use him more than we saw Kral. So I'm quite hopeful. And if you came back to me at the end of the season, I'll make a prediction now. Which player may increase the most in my ratings? It could be Flynn Downs, but then it's probably easier for him because he's only a 6 at the minute. So I'll give him a 6 for now. The jury's out on this one for me.
Well, I will ask you at the end of the season then, since you
do that.
I will. I'm going to give it a 7 because we're rating the transfer, because I do think that stuff is important. I think the way we did the transfer was good. In fact, I'd say it's the second most impressive transfer of all of them, because he was about to sign for Crystal Palace. It was about to go, and we got in there, and we did a transfer quick and got it over the line very quick. There. Sorry?
Mark Warburton's daughter rang up and said, "Oh, Mark, I know you just joined West Ham, but I've got a client here that..."
I don't care what doors we had to open, who we had to tap up. Actually, I shouldn't. I'm not suggesting anything skullduggerous happens. It's all above board. I'm gonna
go see if there's any videos of you complaining about Will Salthouse, and then I'm gonna send you the links to them later.
I don't think I ever have, actually. Maybe I have. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. So I think that was really important. I think, bearing in mind, you mentioned Mark Noble. It's not just Mark Noble. We've discussed before. It's David Martin as well. Yep. And I think it was really important to bring a West Ham fan in. And I think when you put it, one of the best players in the Championship, West Ham fan, about to sign for Palace, I'm adamant he would have played in Palace's first team already. I think sometimes you just got to get in there, and people nick players off of us. That we hear about that a lot. Oh, such and such nicked a player off of us. Well, you know what? We also nick some players as well that are destined to join other clubs. So I think that was really important. I think it's important for the club. He's a newbie, Geo, so he's going to be a little bit shy. But once he opens up, he can take that David Martin role, and he can basically explain to everybody, what it means to play for West Ham and what it means to supporters. So, what did I say? 7? Yeah, 7 out of 10. And that, boys and girls, concludes our transfer player ratings, particularly now we won't have a late newcomer in terms of Ross Barkley joining. So anyway, that's everything from us for today. We will be back tomorrow, because tomorrow is, of course, match day. What time are we going live, Gio?
I'm not sure.
There you go. Don't matter, does it? Right. Do you know what? Tune in tomorrow. Find out. What are you asking us for? Do the research yourselves. I said they're lazy, this lot, you know. Lazy.